Alright, so update on the airplane project. Here is, I guess you could call this airplane number 3. It's a completely different design. This is off the Flight Test Explorer, FT Explorer plans. And I chose to switch to this different airframe because it just has so much more space inside to keep electronics. I kept running into the issue of, man, it was a pain in the ass to get my fingers in to the other fuselage and to make tweaks and to change things, to fit wires and route wires. And this just offers me so much more space in the fuselage. Another notable thing about this airframe is, you notice there's no place for a motor on the front. I've got a camera there. This is a pusher airplane. The motor will go right here. The motor, the propeller's not pulling the aircraft forward. It's pushing it forward. A neat, handy thing about that is when you go in for a landing with the other airplane, brake propellers all the time because the prop just hits the ground. It's right on the nose. Here, the prop's up, out of the way. Doesn't get smashed on the ground. Don't break as many propellers, or hopefully no propellers. Some things that are different electronics-wise. Whereas in the old airplane, I had this all-in-one camera and transmitter, video transmitter. The range was just terrible. Very poor video reception. Part of the reason is because the antenna on that is just it's just a whip antenna. Whereas here, this is an omnidirectional antenna, and it allows you to rotate it in any orientation and still get reception, whereas the other one has to be straight up and down. I do have a new video transmitter in here. It's flashing me A11, so that means band A, channel 1, and power level 1. This can do 4 different power levels, 25 milliwatt up to 800. I can step up all the way to 800, and that should give me plenty of range, especially with the omnidirectional. It's called the lollipop antenna. Foxier lollipop. And I also have one on the goggles. Check this out, it's a little battery tray. Just out of foam board, nothing special. But it keeps this battery from moving around. A new camera, also by Foxier. I forget what this one is called. It's something mini, something micro, I can't remember what it's called. It is a better camera. It's mounted on a couple of servo control horns. It's mounted with some screws into the camera body. What I could do with this is swivel the camera up or down, depending on what angle I feel is the best for flying FPV with. On the other airplane, man, it was hard to see where I was going because that camera was looking straight forward. It's not ideal to look straight forward because you basically have to pitch the nose of the aircraft down and basically dive bomb to see where you are. So with this setup, I can look down at the ground a little bit while maintaining a level pitch angle. When the nose cone's put on, all of this is cut out so the field of view actually has very little obstruction. On the other airplane, the nose of the airplane got in the way of a good portion of the video feed. Other than that, all the electronics, the flight board's the same, control board. ESC and motor, same. GPS, same. Servos are the same. So the wing, I've got my servo leads coming out here, conveniently labeled which side of the wing is right and left. It is kind of a pain in the ass to figure that out every time you put it on. So overall, a very different design than the motor glider that I was my last design was based off of. I'll show you a little bit through the camera. It is recording, I think, still. I finally got myself a micro SD card that fits right in this slot here, so I can record DVR footage from the video feed now. This is what video feed from the airplane looks like. Just take you around my room a little bit. So with the OSD, you do get that cool sort of fighter pilot heads-up display showing you pitch angle, roll angle, and you probably see some satellite stuff, and some just different battery percentage, battery voltage, altitude. Let's see if it works here. Yeah, that works pretty good. And throttle, different things. It's saying unable to arm, no RC link, because my transmitter is not actually on. If I turn that on, let's see. Yep, that goes away. And let's just see what I can do here. I could probably arm it with the arm switch. Yep. Throttle up. You see the throttle indicator goes up and down. Oh, one last thing I guess I'll show before my battery on my phone runs out. The camera came with this little button board here. And what this lets you do is actually go through and change camera settings. Mostly it's all just video settings and things with color, contrast, etc. Camera things. One last thing. I'm going to try and film me installing the nose cone onto this airplane. And it looks kind of cool from the point of view of the FPV camera sliding this right on. There we go. It's on now. Here's what the camera looks like poking out of the front of this nose window I've covered in packing tape. Looks pretty neat, huh? Air inlet to cool the electronics. Yep, that's where I am with this project right now. So for my own future reference or whoever's watching, there you go.